just so we're clear. I'm Batman. Play your role, Robin.
Guys, this is my custom Superman. Now, I hope you guys liked the last video. I think you guys liked the last video on my custom Batman. But I'm not going to be making videos on all my custom felt figures, but some of them I've changed the way I've made them from. So I might make a video on maybe my Green Lantern figure or something like that, but I also might make a video on props, because I haven't made props for either of these figures. Maybe the next video or in my TikTok, I'll make a short working on how I made props for my Batman's accessories, making some batarangs and stuff like that. Maybe making some chains for Superman to break right here too. Maybe on my another video if you guys want to see that. But let's dive into this custom. Now, it's the same way we did like last time with basically the foundation right here. The foundation, cardboard, and wire work the same way. I made the foundation a little bit wider and taller. So I wanted to go for like a skinnier type of Superman, but I also wanted to have it have like the same type of consistency throughout the arms, because the Batman figure, he has like skinny arms and big cartoony, gloves. And that's the design that's going to be going for majority of the other figures that have like gloves in their outfits, like Slade or Flash, or maybe even characters like, Green Lantern and Green Arrow, even Plastic Man. Plastic Man might have the same, thickness throughout the whole body of arms like the Superman figure does. So basically with the Superman figure, I did a couple things different with the painting, the felt, and also the head sculpt. Since the head sculpt, I had to do hair and a nose and basically other details on it besides just a mask with a cowl and some eyes. The paint job on this cowl is actually better than the paint job on the head, but it is what it is. So let's dive right into how this figure is different from the Batman. Everything from head to toe. Let's get more into depth. So for this Batman figure, the differences between the Superman figure and the Batman figure is the hands. The hands aren't just one, piece of fabric that are like the gloves. I used a flesh type of felt color, like an egg white type of color, so it can mix with the egg white type of painting I would be using for the head. So yeah, I also at the last minute, the arms were like a lot taller, like the tip of the fingers ended up here. So I basically shortened it so it would be a lot more smoother throughout, and I think I did the best choice, making it shorter on the arms and smoothing it out. And also the hands seem to be pretty cool. The forearms are a little bit looser since it was cut down and the wire is kind of shortened now, but the articulation still works the same. The articulation is somewhat better. And also the ab articulation is still kind of hindered. I'm probably gonna, fix up the ab articulation and have a lot more space between the cardboard pieces for the Flash and more flexible characters. Because Superman doesn't be doing like acrobatic skills like Batman. He'll be just running around. He ain't super flexible, but the back, the arch is pretty good and stuff like that. So with the underwear, same type of method. The underwear last time was just one solid piece of fabric I pre-cutted, but I used a piece of fabric up and then going down. It's kind of bad on my part. I wanted to look a little bit more smoother, but it is what it is.
It is what it is!
And it works for what it is. It worked out. I also use gold for the belt and the logo. It's normally like, yellow, but I wanted to do a little bit more of a realistic type take or a creative take on making this logo gold instead of yellow, and making the belt gold, because sometimes it is gold, but majority of the time it's yellow, but I wanted to make it gold for real. So yeah, it's a little bit uneven, it's a little bit pushed off. The logo, thing isn't directly down the middle underneath the belt. It's not in the middle of the belt, but it's good enough. And yeah, so I might remake this, make it like a Kingdom Come Superman. I might make a Kingdom Come Superman later down the line once I go into more different customs. And soon I will be making a figure custom on my big figs, like making figures like Doomsday and Bane, and making like big, like 5-inch, 6-inch figures, because these figures are like 4 inches, 5 inches. So making like bigger figures like Bane, Killer Croc, maybe even Super Suit Green Lex Luthor, or Super Suit Can't remember his name. I forgot his name. Jeez, he was a character, super suit. Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze in his super suit, like makes him the suit that makes him bulky. So yeah, I might go over the Batman design for Super Freeze. I mean Mr. Freeze, because that design is actually cold. But yeah, no pun intended. But
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
so the cape is like hard on the top piece, like how it is on the Batman, and like all fabric on the bottom. I didn't want to put wires in the suit or in like the cape because, well, I wanted to like just flow with its movements. I didn't want him to have too much of bulkiness on the back of the suit because Batman has wire in his cape, and Batman uses his cape a little bit more in types of, you know, dynamic poses. So Superman's cape is really just flown in the back, or just on the back of his back, or either ripped up or something like that. So yeah, but the articulation is pretty good throughout. It has a little bit more better leg articulation with Superman. I need to fix up the leg articulation though for my next custom, because the leg articulation sometimes isn't the best. It is not the best, but it works for what it's supposed to work for. The torso sometimes seems a little bit too long for the legs, and I'm not gonna hold you, it kinda is, but it works for what I'm trying to achieve with it. But basically, I'm gonna be fixing a lot of these figures, because all these figures are like, you know, pretty much prototypes. Not prototypes, but like starter-ups for the scene and stuff like that. But soon, since I got 2 of these figures done, I'm gonna be working on a Superman custom and a Batman custom. I'm gonna be making a toothpaste custom figure for the whole story I'm going to be making for the Batman stop motion. So stay tuned for that video, because I will be making a 2-part video on a custom of, well, Lex Luthor for Superman, and a custom figure for Toothface. So for, you know, Batman. So yeah, it's going to be like 2 stop motions, and every stop motion, I'm making a solo stop motion for every single, you know, pretty much DC figure in this line I'm going to be making. So I'm going to be making a stop motion for all these guys. Every solo movie is going to have a stop motion for those characters, unless they're like a side character, like, I don't know, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I might make a solo film for him, but it won't be a solo film. It will be basically just a Green Lantern movie with a bunch of other Green Lanterns in it. Also in the comments, I'm thinking about either going John Jones, not John Jones, but basically, I can't remember his name. Pretty much Black Green Lantern, or either Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Can't remember his name exactly. I grew up with that Green Lantern, but Hal Jordan just seems a little cooler, but I don't know. I like his design with the gold, with the white gloves a little bit better though. But yeah, so this Superman figure turned out really well. It was a good take, just showing the arms, so it made this goblet type look and this seam. So like how you can see how Superman has those goblets with those seams around his cuffs or something in some continuities, like the New 52. Yeah, so that actually, I like how that did it, but it was just this is more like a classic take on Superman's suit, and I love it for that way. And it was a good take to do the gold, since it had a metallic sheen to it. And I feel like I made it yellow. It looked a little too cartoony. So yeah, so the head, I wish I put a lot more volume in the hair, and I probably am going to tweak that up. The curl isn't the best, but I used a lighter blue than I used for the rest of the body, since you can see overall it has blue dimples and shading throughout the whole fabric, and the fabric itself isn't like that. That was paint. And yeah, so a lot of it can be tweaked up with smaller type of scissors, like sewing scissors and stuff like that, and stitching scissors, so I can like cut off this extra, you know, felt and stuff that's poking out. This is fresh off of the cutting board, and I literally finished this about like 2 minutes ago. So I had to make a video on this immediately because I just like how it turned out. But it is some things I could fix with the head shape, putting a little bit more volume to the hair. I sculpted it with the X-Acto knife, making a bunch of dimples and line scrimmages in it, but I feel like it turned out pretty well. But I also made some of the hairline, or the hairs that is poking out with the paintbrush. I didn't sculpt in those smaller bits, but yeah, I could have done a little bit better with the hair. And this is the first time me doing hair on a type of figure like this. So next time, I'm going to make the hair a lot more volume. Definitely for the Nightwing figure, because Nightwing's hair is like awesome. But yeah, I might definitely go back and redo this hair, or just redo the head sculpt entirely for, you know, the next video. So yeah, And yeah, so this figure turned out pretty well. It's not gonna be a super long video, this guys, because like this is literally just the same type of formula I used for the Batman figure, besides making the torso a little bit longer, using the hands with the different felt, and also making the figure a little bit more colorful with the colors. Overall, this figure turned out really well. I like how it turned out. There's some things I think to tweak with the next figure I'm going to be making in this line, and the next figure is going to be it's going to be Flash. So I'm thinking maybe going Wally West or Barry Allen Flash. Sorry, Barry Allen Flash, or maybe even Jay Garrick. I don't know, but probably just Barry Allen Flash or Wally West. But yeah, so I like how it turned out. Turned out really well. The back of the figure is pretty okay, and yeah, so stay tuned for those stop motions and the rest of the figure and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little, quick little video on this custom, and hope you guys have a blessed day. Deuces. Articulation segment real quick. I already showed you articulation with the arms going up, arms going all the way up like that. Wires are a lot more tighter, so it has a lot more better articulations, as it can go against the fabric a lot cleaner and goes back that much. Torso head articulation is always good on these figures because I use a lot of good movements. There's a little bit of a gap right here for a Superman figure that has to look up to fly. It's a little bit bad, but he's always going to be like this when he's flying, so isn't too bad. Going down, looking down, a little bit bad, but I could fix that up in like editing in the stop motions. So yeah, it goes in that much. He could also cross his arms. He could cross his arms if he wanted to. Something like that. And yeah, so the figure overall is pretty good. Go like that, put his toes down and fly like this. So yeah, a little bit of a quick segment on articulation, since you already saw much of it when I was moving it around and showing you the differences between the Batman and Superman. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm actually gonna get out of the video, so have a blessed day. Deuces.